Hey guys, and today I'm here to do the Booktube Newbie Tag. And I have written all of the questions in my book. I'm going to go ahead and warn you, I'm squinting a little bit. It's nice outside, but my kiddos are practicing piano inside. So, question number one, why did you start this channel? I started this channel really as an outlet for myself. I started watching some Booktube videos during my spring break, and I just thought that this would be a neat way for me to try to converse with others that are like-minded when it comes to books. We may have different backgrounds, we may have different, we may be in different stages of life, but we have the same basic interest, and we are just interested in books. And it has been such a good thing for me, simply because I have found authors I did not know existed. I have broadened my horizons in my reading, and I truly attribute it all to Booktube. So, number two, what are some fun and unique things you could bring to Booktube? Well, I think one of the things that is unique is I am not a 20-something. I turned 40 yesterday, and so most of the Booktube channels I have followed, they are very, very young, like early 20s, I think. And so even the ones that seem to be older are like 29. So I think that's kind of something unique, is I'm in a different stage of life. I'm 40 years old, I have 2 kids, I'm married, and I work full time. And I think that's just different than some of the other people on Booktube, mainly stage of life. So, sorry the lighting's kind of like shady and not. Okay, question number 3. What are you most excited about for this new channel? Well, this channel is actually about 2 months old. I started it in March or April, like videoing. And what I'm most excited about is I've enjoyed conversing with others, getting my idea out there. I really don't have anyone in my normal everyday life that I can talk to books about. Most of them think it's kind of weird. So that's kind of what I am looking forward to and excited about, because I can talk, give my opinions, give my thoughts on books and bookish things, and it's a safe place. It's an interesting bookish community. So I'm excited about that. Question 4, why do you love reading? Reading for me is not something I can do every day. It's something that I love. It's something that I feel is just a pleasure to do. But with work, house, my children, reading is not always something that fits into the day. I tend to fall asleep. So I love reading because it is kind of an escape. It does kind of transport you to a different world and make you kind of not think about everyday life. It's relaxing to me. And I think that may be a question. Yeah, I'll come back to this at question number 10. It says, what kind of books do you like to read? Because that's kind of why I love reading. It's the books I like to read. So, question number 5. What book or series got you into reading? I have always read. We live in an area where I went to a private school growing up, and we had to have summer reading. We did not have an option, starting in like 3rd grade, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade. So reading has always been something that was required of me. I did enjoy it. I read Christopher Pike. I remember reading that in middle school. I read Babysitter's Club, Sweet Valley Twins. That dates me. Then Sweet Valley High. Christopher Pike dates me too. And so I've kind of always read. What was the question? What books or series got you into reading? So it really wasn't anything that got me into reading, more so things that got me away from it. A lot of the books that I was required to read, for more specifically, I think of the book My Side of the Mountain by, I think it's Jean George. Hated the book, couldn't stand it, summer reading, and those were kind of books that made me not want to read. So my favorite book growing up was From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basley Frankweiler, and I could make a connection. And I think that's what I liked most about that book. And it made me realize that not all books were survival stories, because at school mainly, although that's a Newbery winner, mainly the books that we were reading at school were My Side of the Mountain, Island of the Blue Dolphins. We were reading more survival stories. This looks so weird on my head. It's like I really should be in all shade. Is that better? Just kidding. Okay, question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? I don't know. I kind of follow... Let me turn this a little bit. That does not help at all. I follow several booktubers on Booktube. I tend to really like J.D. Ray Reed's Jade There, G from Book Roast. I like Peter from Peter Likes Books. He's kind of a hoot. The Bookables Girl. So what would I ask them is, how do you find the time? So a lot of them do not have children. Now, Peter is married, and his husband is not a big reader. The other two have boyfriends. They're not married. The Bookables Girl is married, does have a child. So I guess I would mainly ask her, how do you find time to read, keep your house clean, and cook? Because I cook every single night. And so those are things that I would want to know. Like, how do you do that? How do you get this all done? Because really, Booktube, for me, being not my full-time job, I have other things I have to do. And Booktube's really like a hobby. And so, I'm sorry, I'm sitting in a chair. And so that's kind of what I would ask her. I'd also ask just financially, like, without spending a ton of money, what kind of camera or lighting do you suggest? I don't want anything that's majorly professional, but what would you suggest? Okay, question number 7. What challenges to starting a Booktube channel will be hardest to overcome? Well, first, I'm thinking the content. I've mainly done unboxings, and I really don't, I want to do more than just unboxings. I just don't feel like I've read the quantity of books, and I couldn't figure out if the books I was reading were really what people wanted to hear about on Booktube. It seems like everything's YA, and I read more than YA. I read contemporary, cozy mystery. That's my favorite. And so I guess content is a challenge, and then time. I just, do I have the time for it, and do I have the content? Because it's only me. Somebody's driving by, and they're probably wondering who I'm talking to right now. So, hi! There you go. Sorry. People think you're crazy when you're outside doing this. Okay, so, and making sure I have energy, I guess that's another challenge, because I'm introverted, but I'm so introverted that you wouldn't know it if you met me. And I say that because it's like I almost try to overcompensate for that. Kind of like I'm so unorganized, I try to overcompensate and become like hyper organized. So that's different for me. And so that may be a challenge. Chapter 8, when did you start reading? I've always been a reader. A lot of it was, like, as I said earlier, because it was required. And that was not fun. So, but I would say that probably everybody says Harry Potter, but I took 2 years off teaching and worked for Scholastic and had to read Harry Potter. And I will say that those are actually the Harry Potters I liked the least. I don't know, and I need to go back and reread them. I don't know if it's because I was required to read them for work. I'm sorry, I'm like, keep looking and I'm like squinting. My eyes are bigger than that. I don't know if it's because I was required to read it, but it seems like we have so much required reading as students, and then even as teachers, that I always have read. I would say that last summer, when I had a good chunk of time, I really started kind of blazing through some Aurora Teagarden mysteries by not Joanne Fluke, she writes Murder, She Baked, by Charlene Harris. And I just kind of wanted to see what was happening next because they were having movies come out on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So I'd say that kind of jumped me into starting my reading all over again. And then in March, end of March, in spring break, when I kind of started this channel, I started saying, you know what, I really need to read more. I need to make it a priority. I haven't read as I have wanted to, but I'm reading more than I did in the past. I don't know if that's answering the question. Number 9, where do you read? I read anywhere. I cannot read if I'm laying out in the sun. I get really, really hot. I'm really pale, and I get really, really hot, and I get eaten by bugs. So I cannot read. A lot of people like lay out by the pool or the pond or the lake or the river because we live by water, or the bay or the Gulf of Mexico, and they're reading and they're enjoying it. I don't. I fall asleep. It's like glary, gives me a headache. I can't do that. So that's where I can't read. And I can't read in the car. I get nauseous. So other than that, I can really pretty much read anywhere. I prefer to read in my bed, but I tend to fall, like I'm looking, and I feel like I need to like open my eyes more. I prefer to read in my bed, but it seems like I've been going to sleep so late lately that I'm falling asleep when I read. And then I've got a really comfortable couch that I have that was in my parents' house, and it's in our study, and I like to read there. So those are fun places to read. So in chapter 10, number 10, What kind of books do you like to read? My favorite genre is cozy mysteries by far. If you don't know what a cozy mystery is, they are typically a murder happens in some like idealistic location. A good example of an old-timey television show would be Murder, She Wrote, Monk, Psych, Diagnosis Murder, really even Matlock. All of those are cozy mysteries. A lot of cozy mysteries have been made into movies by Hallmark Movies and Mysteries lately. There were a Tea Garden series by Charlene Harris, Murder, She Baked by Joanne Fluke, Kate Carlisle's Fixer Upper Mysteries, and Jules in that. Candace Cameron Bure is in the Aurora Tea Garden. I just totally forgot her name. It's the girl that was in Days of Our Lives Forever. She played Sammy. She's really good. She is in Murder, She Baked, Haley Dean Mysteries. Anyway, those are all kind of cozy-ish mysteries, and that is my favorite genre. I've always said I don't like fantasy, but I really actually do, and I realized that this year talking to my students is I say I hate fantasy, and it's actually not what I hate. I really actually do enjoy it. So I'd say that, and then lastly, so I've got cozy mysteries I enjoy to read. It says, what kind of books do you like to read? I like cozy mysteries. I like some fantasy, and I like contemporary. I really don't like science fiction, and I don't like anything that's super heavy. I feel like in my everyday life, things are already stressful with work and home and just life in general that I don't want to read anything that is that way. So I really like kind of light, airy type of books, chick lit, a contemporary here or there, and that's kind of what I like to read. So I am not going to tag anybody in this because I really don't know anybody to tag, and I don't know where the original post came from. So if you do know, please let me know. I'll tell you where I got it from. Now, they did not link to an original post. So my most favorite of these, J.D. Ray Reads, and that's Jade, Book Roast, her name is G, and Peter Likes Books. Those are some that I kind of follow in some of the Booktube Newbie Tags that I watched and really enjoyed. I think I also watched A Dash of Ash and Bookables. Not sure about that, but that is my Booktube Newbie Tag. Sorry it was late. Please subscribe, hit a like down in the comment, put anything in the comments, hit like if you like this video, chat to me in the comments. I would love it if you'd subscribe, and we can just kind of interact on here. Do you have a Booktube channel? Are you new to it? What were your challenges? And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day and stay safe out there. Have a good day.